भी तो ध्यान दे, मेरे मन में क्यों अंधकार है, मेरे मन में क्यों अंधकार है, मेरे ईश्वर मुझे ज्ञान दे, मैं तो कब से तेरी शरण में हूँ। तेरी आरती का दिया बन, यही है मेरी मनोकामना, तेरी आरती का दिया बनूं, यही है मेरी मनोकामना, मेरे प्राण तेरा ही नाम ले, मेरे प्राण तेरा ही नाम ले, कर मन तेरी ही उपासना, कर मन तेरी उपासना, गुणगान तेरा ही मैं करूं, गुणगान तेरा ही मैं करूं, मुझे लगन भगवान दे, मैं तो कब से तेरी शरण में हूँ, मैं तो कब से तेरी शरण में हूँ, मैं तो कब से तेरी शरण में हूँ। Sai Ram. Our most reverential pranams at the lotus feet of Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. We pray today that while we share our experience to our Sai family, we seek his blessings, and we ask him to speak through us to all of you. And if you make any mistakes or anything like that, please forgive us, because Swami's experiences are extremely unique, and it comes everything from the heart, and sometimes you kind of get carried away, or you miss some important stuff. So, but we are going to try our best.
We are not speakers. We will talk to you. So we are so grateful for Mesa Center for giving us this opportunity after 22 years again. We spoke 22 years ago. We had just come into Sai Food. Swami has led this journey, this Sai journey, for 22 more years. We have some experiences which you might feel that Swami has been in us, around us, within us, all around us, guiding and guarding us all throughout these 22 years. We thank you, Mesa Sai Center, for again for sharing, for making us share these experiences with you.
So we were thinking about it, when Guru and Suresh approached us, for this, and we just said yes. And after that, we didn't know what are we going to say, and so we had a chance to go deep, have a deep dive in our life, for the past 30 years or whatever it is, and then we figured out some of the stuff that we learned, some of the places where we became very close to Swami, and in a nutshell, the essence of our life story was described in this one, that we always felt that, there is anyatha sharanam nasti. So there is, without you there is no refuge. So he is you call it a family member, you call him God, you call him everything in our life. But he is the one who is guiding us. And the second thing that, we came up with is that, Swami has always quoted this shloka many times in his discourse, saying that anyatha, ananyas chintayanto mam, ye jana paryupasate, tesham nitya abhiyuktanam yogakshamam vahamyam. So the meaning is that those who always think of me and engage in single-minded devotion to me and whose minds are always absorbed in me, I always take care of well-being and protect them. And I think, our all experiences are based on this. We have always prayed to him, and he has showered his love, to all of us. And as Swami says, and I don't know, I hope I'm speaking correctly in Telugu, but it says, Swami has always said that I am in Vantane, Jantane, Intane, Kantane. So I'm always behind you, with you, in you, and around you. And we have found him everywhere in our life. And in fact, some of the experiences and incidents that happened in our life, we did not realize that it was because of Swami. But then when we thought about it, there was a little autograph or a signature that we call it, that he had always put his stamp that on everything that happened in our life. So I'm going to start out with this slide. How many of you know this gentleman? Okay, he is Nosh Daruwala. He was part of Sai Center for many, many years. And he was part of our Scottsdale Sai Center at that time. And we had become, buddies at that time. And, we were talking and we were joking and every time we met. He's still in the valley, but I don't think that he's very regular with the Sai Center anymore. But he's still a Baba devotee, I'm sure. So in 2002, a small group of us, from the valley, decided to go to Parthi. And we wanted to have, Swami's darshan. And we were hoping that since Dr. Bala was around, we might get an interview, at that time. So we had that, that thing in our mind. So the whole group went because of, his influence, I would say. We were allowed to sit in the first row every day that, we visited there. So when we go, Swami would come at 7 o'clock, but, we were asked to sit at 6 o'clock in the Kulwant Hall, and in the very first row, every day. And every day Swami would come and give darshan first to ladies, and then he would come on the gents' side. And invariably for the first 3 or 4 days, he came and stood right in front of me. And but he never looked at me. He never. I didn't even know that he knew that I was there. I mean, that was I was thinking at that time. But he would talk to a person next to me. He would talk to a person behind me. And every day, almost every day, but he would spend at least, I would say, 3 to 4 minutes just standing there in front of me. And that was happening every day. Now, this is just a part of the experience, but the next day in the morning, Nosh Darwala and myself were sitting next to each other. And since we had 1 hour to spend, we would not, everyone was talking, but we were just asked not to talk. But so we were kind of whispering with each other and talking, but because there's a lot of time that we have to spend before Swami comes in. So that 4th day, what happened was, I was just joking and fooling with Nosh, and I said, Nosh, supposing Swami calls you for an interview, and he asks you a question, that Nosh, where are you from? So I said, you don't say that you are from Arizona. You have to say that, Swami, I am from you and I am going towards you. That is my journey. So Swami loves that, so make sure that you answer that way. So that happened. Darshan, Swami went back to his home. And then after that, somebody came running in the Kulwant Hall and said, Swami is going to give an interview to all the Sai devotees who are present in the Kulwant Hall in Mandir.
US side.
it's US Sai devotees who are present here in the mandir. And he's also allowed us to sing 7 or 8 bhajans. So there are, and then we found out that there are a lot of people from other parts of the US were there. And there are probably about maybe 30, 40 people, in total. So now who is going to sing? So somebody decided and gave the name, and I was thrilled to know that, I was one of them. I was selected for one of those 8 people who were going to sing bhajans in front of Swami. So we go to, the Swami gave us a time, I think it's about 3 o'clock or so in the afternoon, just before the darshan. We would give the darshan to devotees. So he comes in, we were seated in the mandir at about 2 o'clock. And Swami does come, I think, a few minutes early, and he comes and he goes around with all of us, talks to some of us, and then he went and sat in mandir on his chair. And on that side, there was the first row was a harmonium player. He was from New Jersey, I believe, and he was Swami's ex-student. And just behind him, I was sitting because I was supposed to lead a bhajan. So I was in the front row. Now, what happened that Swami came, sat on the chair and talked to that harmonium guy. And he was talking to him. And all of a sudden, he turned around, like this to me and looked straight in my eyes. And he asked me, Babu, where are you from? Okay. Now I was not even prepared for this question. I forgot everything that I talked to Nash in the morning. I had no clue what I was doing. And because I did not know that he's going to speak to me, spot me and speak to me. So I immediately I did like this, and Swami from Arizona. So I don't know, Nash was sitting somewhere in the back, and I'm sure he must be laughing at that time. But then, Swami did that, and we all sang bhajans, and of course, he did some materialization to Dr. Bala and Goldstein, and everyone who was present. And so that thing got over just right there. But that at that time, I could realize it. Then, of course, after the darshan, after the whole thing was over on the same day, I realized that Swami was listening everything, even though we were whispering, we were joking, we were fooling around. I think he was there and he was listening to everything.
That shows Swami's omniscience.
Okay, so now, as some of you might know that, I was born in a city called Valsad, in Gujarat. Now, at that time, we had, let me say it this way, that, maybe about 10 or 12 years back, we visited Valsad, and I was curious to see the hospital in which I was born. But the hospital was very small, like is in somebody's house kind of a thing. And, you could walk on the street and you can actually see what's going on, in the front desk, there. So it was very open. So I was walking past that street, and I was curious, I just saw that. I saw that, there was this picture was there on that hospital. And so I was very curious. I would go inside, and I realized that, the doctor, the gynecologist that was there when I was born, she had passed away, but, her daughter-in-law was the gynecologist. And so she came out, and so I introduced myself, and she immediately recognized my mom and dad. And so she said, so I just, I really love this picture. It's a beautiful picture. And the next sentence she said, do you want it? And I said, yes, but but it looks like that it is very old. There's a lot of vibhuti in this picture, on this picture. So I said, this is actually a very beautiful picture. You really want to give it to me? And she said, yeah, if you want, you can take it. We are actually moving from this hospital and building a new hospital. And so we don't really need it. And so you can take it. And my mother-in-law, she said, was a devotee, Sai devotee. And, it has been around in this hospital for the last 70 years. So if you want, you can take it with you. Now, then I realized that, she was talking about 60, 70-year-old picture at that time. So that means, the day when I was born, this picture was there in that hospital. And that Swami had little signature there that, look, I have been involved in your life right from the birth. you don't know. But and so then it was a really an eye-opening thing for me, and I never say from that day onwards that I'm a first generation. We are the first generation devotees in our house, in our family. Now, something else was also confirmed, subsequently. In 2008, I believe, I went to Swami's birthday, and we were sitting in the darshan, in the the front side of the Kulbant hall, and suddenly Swami calls. Swami was sitting. I think bhajans or music program was going on, and Swami suddenly called Anil Kumar. So Professor Anil Kumar goes there, and then he announces something in Telugu, and the whole crowd claps. Now, he was so enthusiastic. I mean, the way he gets carried away, that's how he was at that time. And he did not translate into English. So we did not know what he said and why crowd is so, such a spirit. And then somebody reminded him that, so, Professor Arun Kumar, you have to say in English. And so he translated and said that Baba just now called me and told me that all these people who are present right now in Kulwant Hall were present also in my Pattabhishek, in my Ram Avatar. So now I realize that it was not even this generation, or this is not from my birth, but maybe how many years I must have been devotee of Swami. That in probably every avatar, who knows, so. I mean, that made me so good. I could not sleep for that night, honestly.
I'm crying right now because I was not with him at that time. I was in Phoenix and he was in Perth.
Should we continue? Okay. So fast forward to early 90s, I would say, as Suresh introduced me, I'm also a chartered accountant in India, from India. And, after that, after being a CA, I was practicing in India for about maybe 11 or 12 years. And after that, I thought that, I would like to diversify into international business consulting or international accounting and tax consulting. So I was looking for some kind of an education opportunity. And, I found that, there were two institutes in the US that was offering exactly the courses that I wanted to learn. So I go and apply, and I got the admission in both of the universities. One was in South Carolina, and the other one was in Thunderbird School of Management here. So for some reasons I picked Thunderbird because it was actually highly rated than the South Carolina one. So I decided to come here. So by that time we were married, and Shri was also there, was born. She was, I think, about 1 year or 1.5 year old. So all three of us, we come here, and I finished my education here at Thunderbird. In 1993, economy was not that great, and it was tough to find jobs, and I didn't want to really struggle here. So I decided to go back to India. So I go back to India, and I leave for India, and then Vandana and Shri wanted to spend some time with my brother, who still is in San Francisco area, and come back a few weeks later. So then I let Vandana say that, continue the story, that when I left for India, and she left for San Francisco, what happened at the airport?
Trying to catch a flight to San Francisco. The flight got delayed by 2 hours. So the expected time to reach San Francisco airport was at midnight. We boarded the plane. The plane landed in San Francisco airport. My brother-in-law was going to come and pick me up. We came out through the doors of the airport, and we see there is no one. So I got a little panic because she was crying. Obviously it was late night. There was no one in the airport. All the passengers who were with me were leaving one by one. So I said, let me call him and find out where he is. So I went to those days there were no cell phones. So I looked at the payphone and I went there and I took out my purse and I said, let me get out the coins and call him. And lo and behold, what I see, there are no coins in my purse. Now she's crying really, really hard. And I'm trying to tell her, please calm down, I'm just going to call your uncle and he's on his way. There is no hope now because there is no one there. There are a couple of people went past by me and I asked them if they had coins. They said, no, sorry, left me. There are only 3 people in the airport. The whole airport is closed. And at that time, I actually cried in panic. I said, whoever you are, wherever you are, please come and help me. And I banged on the payphone. I banged on the payphone, suddenly I hear a big noise. There are lots of coins in the slot machine. I pick up the coins, enough for me to call my brother-in-law. I call him, he said, I'm late, don't worry, I'm going to be there. So this divine unseen hand, which had started working, whom I had no idea, no picture, no name, no face, till now. So this story is kind of letting us into a path which we are going to take now. You want to continue?
Yes. So after that, they came back to India and I started my practice again and things were going pretty smoothly. I had no other intention of coming here, coming back to US or anywhere else. And we had a home and we had parents there, so we were just we didn't have any other plans.
We had this void in our heart. We were feeling very uncomfortable. There was something we kept on talking about. Why are we feeling like this? What is the purpose of this life? And all those kind of things. I was a young adult at that time. And I'm thinking and I'm telling Pallav, why am I talking like this? What is this that is troubling me? I cannot put a name or face to it.
We are just like in early 30s. I don't think that was the time when we would be thinking about what is life this is for. And
what is the purpose? Where are we going? What is happening to us? So these questions were in our mind and we decided that we should take a break and go to Bangalore because for Gujarati people, Bangalore is a place to visit. It's a very nice place, right? You second that. So we decided to go to Bangalore and
yes. So, as I said, we all came back and we were trying to find the purpose for coming to India. But Swami had a divine plan, at that time. We never had any clue. We were not Baba devotees, Let me give you a little bit, I know that she's going to say that we were spending time, but, I was not Baba devotee. In fact, I had read about something very bad about him in the media, and I was not even interested in trying to find out that it is really true or false, I believed whatever was said in the media. I was really, not very in favor of, seeing Baba.
All kinds of Babas, mandir, temples.
So we were there, in hindsight, we were there only from 1994 we came back to India and only up to 1996. And now we decided in 1995, we decided to take a vacation in Bangalore, as she said. And so we decided that we are going to stay for 3 days in a hotel and 2 days in one of my friend's vacant apartment. That he said that go there, since you are going there, I'll give you the key and go check it out, if everything is okay. So that was our plan. So we go to the hotel and we check in. And in the check-in, the receptionist had to say something that she is going to say.
So we asked them, what are the good places we can see here? So they give us a big list. These are the places you must visit. But also, she said, there is an ashram. Do you know Sathya Sai Baba? I said, no. I've heard his name, but I don't know him. So he looked at me and said, Don't. Yeah. What are the other places? I said, she said, no, it's a very nice place. It's in Whitefield. You must visit it. We did not pay attention. We left it there. After 3 days of the hotel stay, we are going to our friend's house with all of our luggage in the car. We called a taxi. This taxi guy took us to the apartment. You want to say?
Yeah. So it was very funny because we booked a taxi. The taxi came. We just loaded the luggage inside the trunk, and he drives us to my friend's apartment complex. We go there, and we take the bags out, and we go to the lift because it was on the 3rd or 4th floor, something like that. So we go there, and there was no electricity at that time. So lifts were not working. Now we had a lot of luggage with us, so there was no way we could have just gone on the stairs and take it there. So we stopped the driver and we said that let's put the bags inside the trunk again, and then you take us around, and maybe in 3-4 hours we'll come back, and by the time hopefully the electricity will be back. But little did we know that just to draw us to him, Swami had actually switched off the electricity. And that
he was calling us.
He was calling us.
So the electricity became electricity. So all the Bangalore, that area light went off, and the divine searchlight is on now. It's leading us, it's calling us.
So now look at this. Now we are sitting we came back to the car, and he said, okay, sir, where do you want to go? And I said, look, take us around somewhere. We just have to kill time until this light comes back. And then he says, oh, if you don't have any plans, I suggest that you go to Whitefield. Now this is the 2nd or 3rd time in that trip, that this guy is saying. I said, why Whitefield? He said, no, don't you know it is Sathya Sai Baba's ashram? And let me tell you one thing. He is here in Whitefield now. And right now it's about 2 o'clock, and 3 o'clock is a darshan time. I can take you there, and you will reach just before darshan. And then you come back, and then, I'll drop you here as well. I said, forget about it. I don't want to go to Whitefield or, Sathya Sai Baba or anybody like that. And
no, he looked at me and he said, no more Babas. We don't want to go. I said, he's saying so much, why don't we go? He said, always when there is Baba, there's Mandir, there's somebody saying something, you always want to visit that. I said, this time I think we should visit. Because 2 people have said that. I said, okay, you know how men grumble. You want to do this? Okay, I'm with you. He can't say no to me, right?
no,
Right,
then,
Pallav? Yes.
no. I can publicly say that, no.
So, we sit in the car, he takes us there, and I will have to hurry up a little bit here.
Yeah.
So we go there, we park the car and we go straight to the door, to the gate of Whitefield. There is this big Sevadal stopping us. Hey, you cannot go in. We said, why? Oh, you are not fully dressed. He's in shorts, I'm in a skirt, and Shri, of course, was fine. He said, you are not fully dressed? What do you mean? We are wearing clothes properly. I said, no, you have to cover yourself. Go put on full dress. Now, Pallav said, I told you, we are not going. Why do you bring me here? So I said, no, let us go to the car and think about it. We may not go. Maybe we are not supposed to be here. So we go in the car, the driver asks, what happened? And we said, we don't have proper clothing. He said, madam, please stop. You have your bags in the car. Why don't you change? I have tinted glass in my car. One by one you change and go for darshan. He is pushing us.
Pushing us, almost ordering us.
Almost. I think it was
I still remember, his face. He didn't like it.
Yeah, he didn't like it. He said, why saying no? So we change our clothes, we go in. Again, we go in, they we have to hand over our belongings. These are our first experiences, so it is going to take a little long. So they said, give us our purses and whatever you have. He grumbles, see, they are taking everything from us. Why? Why do they want this? Then they say, men and women separate, okay? Men go this way, women go this way.
There's another problem to me.
He's very mad.
Why
He's
can't we
very
do
mad.
darshan together?
He's very mad. But those sevadals, you guys know. Come on, let us go our own way. We parted ways right there. I go this way. I go this way, he goes this way. Well, till next time. And then we sit in darshan line and the music starts.
Yeah, so then what happened was that she was in the ladies' side. I went and sat in the and I think the third section in the front row again, and I was sitting there and waiting, and suddenly those boys come, with like dressed in all the white and with harmonium and tabla and all that, and they went in the front of the hall and they started singing bhajan. And you will not believe it, because we are all music lovers. That was there for many births probably again. But as soon as they started singing bhajans, I think something changed in my heart, because that was such a divine atmosphere that I felt at that particular point. And I said, this is something. I really love it. This atmosphere is great. The music is great. I think I'm going to just stay here and shut my eyes and be here. So that was my experience at that time. And then Swami comes out, after from Trai, and he first goes on the ladies' side, gives darshan. Then he comes on the gents' side, and then he gives darshan. Again, he passes just next to me, doesn't look at me, and just goes, and sits in the front. So this is what happened. Now, you tell first, and then I'll say what happened to us.
Swami comes to the ladies' side. We look at him for the first time in our life. The moment we look at him, Shri starts crying, I start crying. I'm crying profusely, Shri's crying profusely. Shri won't stop. But for once, the Sevadal didn't say anything. Now I know that they didn't say anything because they thought, let these ladies cry. What's the big deal? They are looking at Swami for the first time. This happens to everybody. And we are crying. Swami goes away. Subsequently, we stop. And we just sit and listen and take in everything that is happening around us. Pallav, you want to say?
Yes. So after that, when Swami was passing, near me from that row, he actually again stood there, and he was doing like this, at that time. But the only thing that I remember, that there was a beautiful fragrance that I experienced when he was standing next to me. And the fragrance I still remember was mixture of vibhuti and roses, something like that. And the music was still, the bhajans were going on, and this was going on. So I was actually in kind of a divine bliss. I really was somewhere else. I was not there at that place at that time. And maybe some tears did drop from my eyes as well, I don't know. And there was, I think, immediately we became his devotee. At least I became his devotee. And then I was waiting for us to get out of the gate and talk about it, about their experiences. Then both of us realized that we had a similar feeling inside our heart, and everything, the whole world changed.
So after we came out, we said, Pallav, did you feel anything? He said, yes, I think, I used to call him, he has this magic. He changed me.
Yes, so
I feel as if I'm a new person. And I said, I'm exactly feeling the same thing. I felt that all these bad karmas, whatever was here, was kind of melting away. I felt I was clean, and I felt that I was floating in air. I was floating, and I did not know what that meant at that time. So we discussed this, both had same feeling. We go back home, we discussed this with his mother, who was a very spiritual person. And she told us, just wait and watch. Just wait, experience. Something might come in your way. I don't know what it is, but you will soon realize it. That's all she said.
And then, we...
Diwali came.
Yeah, all the things were happening to us, and then we didn't know who to talk and who to ask, because we were very new to Baba. But I had known, my mama, this Kirit Mama we call him. He was like electrical engineer in his life and all that, and then he left his home actually with 2 kids, and he started doing his spiritual sadhana and he did it for 14 years in a secluded place. And he achieved to such a height that even as of today, he's I think in late 70s, he does not eat anything. And he is more energetic than any one of us.
He drinks milk with water added.
With a little bit of milk every night.
In the night.
But other than that, he does not do that. So we had heard that, while he was doing his sadhana, on one day, he was not a Baba devotee or anything like that. But one day there was a bright light came in, and there was actually chair came in, and Swami in physical form came in to bless him. Because he had reached such a height that Swami said that, you have reached such a spiritual height that I have to come. And I am the one that you are praying to. And so that was such a profound experience that he had. And so he started crying, and of course Swami blessed him. And he said, I can give you anything, you can ask me anything. And he said, Swami, I don't want anything, just you be with me. And he blessed him. And the exact same way he left as he came. First he disappeared, then the chair disappeared, and then a bright light also disappeared from the room. Now, coincidentally, my other aunt was, staying in the next door, staying next door, and she saw the bright, she could only see the bright light coming out of his room. But she was a little worried, so she knocked the door, and he only said that, no, everything is okay, I'm fine. But that was the kind of experience that he had, and we had heard about it because he had told us. So we decided to go to him and ask questions about Baba and our experiences. So on a Diwali day, in 1995, we go to. Then he had actually finished his spiritual practices, and he was actually living in Baroda in a very small cottage kind of a place, along with my another uncle. So we go there, and we knocked the door. Now I was seeing him after probably about 18 years. So he immediately opened the door, and he said, "Oh, come, I was expecting you." So he had already received that, communication at some level that, I'm sending you 2 guys, make sure that, they're on the right path. So, and that night, I think we spent the entire night talking to him about Baba, talking to him about, everything like karma theory and stuff like that. And he explained to us about it in very detail. And after that, he gave us Swami's literature, Swami's audio cassettes, and all those things. He said, you go and read. And he said, but one thing, make sure before you leave, that I have taken 14 years to find out God. You don't have to spend 14 years. You can either start from here, and because I'm telling you that Bhagavan Sathya Sai Baba is God incarnate, and you start your journey from here, or you can spend 14, 50 years, 14 years without doing anything I spent and then found out. You can probably spend many lives to find out that He's God. The shortcut. So I said, no, we are taking your words, but we are now going to experience and see that, how, what is divinity all about.
We returned home after all his guidance and instructions given to us, audio cassettes and all. We listened to Swami's bhajans. He gave us a picture. He gave us a picture. We didn't buy anything from Bangalore. He gave us a picture, and this picture is in my kitchen. Now, I'm very scared of this picture. When I first looked at Baba with his afro and his eyes moving everywhere, wherever, I won't look at him. I would listen to the bhajan, but I won't look at him. I was very scared of him. And then jasmine flower smell. And all those experiences which a devotee would have, we started having it. One day, this happened on a night when Pallav had gone to Bombay. I am sleeping in my room with Shri, and suddenly at 4 o'clock the door opens of my bedroom door. My bedroom door opens. I woke up. This is a real experience. I woke up and I looked at my door and what do I see? I see Swami standing full bodied there in orange robe. His head is like this. And by the way, I forgot to mention that by this time I was pregnant. And I woke up and I see Swami there, and Swami says, goes like this and says, "You are going to have a son. Name him Sathya." I'm gathering my wits. I'm trying to see, is this the real Swami which I saw in Bangalore? What is this all happening? Before I could even think and go further, he disappeared. Now I'm waiting and dying to tell Pallav once he returns that something like this has happened. I can't tell anybody in my home because nobody is a Sai devotee of that kind where they would believe in a normal walking God. A walking God in human form. So now I told Pallav this, and he said, "Just wait. You have to give 4.5 more months to Swami before this."
And we didn't share this with anyone because we didn't know that anyone, even we were not sure about that, I said she must be having some hallucination.
Yeah, we thought it was something,
and we don't want to say
it was
anything
a trick
unless,
of my mind maybe.
Right. Even though we were developing faith in him by that time, but we still had some reservations.
In the meantime, Pallav gets...
I think then the life actually became, very fast, all of a sudden in late 1995 and 1996, beginning of that. And I suddenly, it's a big story, but I suddenly get an opportunity to go to Canada, and which I never wanted to go because I was very well settled here. But with some divine push,
He is working.
I was kind of prompted to accept that offer, and I didn't even know where I was going. And in fact, when I was told that I was going to go to a place called Winnipeg, I had never heard about that city in my life. So I had to search for it on the map, and then I landed in Winnipeg, and when I was trying to go there. Many people told me, "Are you really going to Winnipeg? It is a Siberia of Canada. You really want to go there?" I said, "I don't know." I said yes, and everything is now committed. I cannot say no now. So, that's how we landed in Winnipeg. And after that, after some time, Vandana and Shri, both of them came, to Winnipeg. Now, we were trying to find Sai Center, and that's also another story, how we found it. But eventually, we found a Sai Center in Winnipeg. And they were meeting actually in a Hindu temple at that time. And so on the very first day, very first attendance of a Sai Center on a Thursday, there was a gentleman from West Indies who came to pick us up, and he actually took us to the center. We go there, and we were just trying to observe everything. Now the bhajans started, and after the bhajans, they were actually the same as here. They were planning for the next week's bhajan singers. So that devotion coordinator comes to me. He said, "Do you want to sing a bhajan next week?" And I actually remembered you guys. Now I'm remembering you that there's so much similarity. And I said, "No, I don't sing bhajans. I don't even know one's bhajan, so I don't think I can sing." He said, "No, I can tell you from your face that you can sing. I'm putting your name." And then, I never said no to bhajans, from that day onwards. So I said, "Yes, okay, I'll sing." I said, So I come home, and my uncle had given all the audio cassettes, so I picked one bhajan. I practiced for every day for maybe 1 hour or so, the same bhajan for 7 days, because I didn't want to look like that I don't know anything. So next Thursday comes, and I sing bhajans, and the devotion coordinator comes straight to me after the bhajans. He said, "You are lying, you sang a beautiful bhajan." I said, that's it, I'm not going to sing anything more. He said, no, now you are going to be singing bhajans very often. And what happened was that year happened to be officer selection year. You see this, we were there in Canada for at least only for 11 months. Okay, and this was the orientation that we were getting.
Sai orientation.
We didn't even know about it. So this guy comes and he actually proposes my name as a devotion coordinator. Now I don't even know anything about Swami. I don't know about organization. I don't know how the things work here. Nothing, absolutely. Of course, then I said, I don't think that I really know about it. He said, no, you become then a joint coordinator. So I said, okay. So two of us were made joint devotion coordinator for that time, that year. And then things really started very fast, even the center. We bought actually a church and, converted the church into Sai Center. So we were involved in the renovation of the church and, everything was going on late at night, bhajans were there and we also had Swami's room, in that church that, we actually decorated it and all those things. So that thing happened at that time. But in the process, we got all the knowledge about, how the Sai centers work and, what the bhajans, study circles, sevas, all those things, that we were kind of, had to take part in everything.
By now we had a small altar in our home.
Yes.
So we sent a picture of this small altar in our home to our brother in San Francisco. And he calls us and says, oh, do you not have any normal God in your altar? It is only Sai Baba? I said, yes. By that time, our faith has started to get more and more strong in Baba. And now we are waiting, right? 4.5 months I had given Swami. I'm waiting. November comes. It's time for the baby to be born. And, sorry? Huh? And what do you think happened? Yeah, a baby boy was born.
Right?
November 13, after sitting for Akhand Bhajan 24 hours at a stretch with full pregnancy, I delivered the boy on 13th of November, as soon as the bhajan is over. And Swami again at work. He's proven that he knows what he saw. And it was a real Swami which I saw. Immediately the name is given, Sathya Acharya. From here we can see the unseen hand of Swami working in our lives. Now I have to go back quickly to 2002, where the incident of North, which Pallav explained. In that group interview, Swami, after finishing all these bhajans and materialization, he stood up to give a discourse. We are not going to finish, by the way, so this is just the first part. Whatever Swami wants. So Swami gets up and so in the room the previous day I'm asking Sathya, I'm asking Pallav, what if Swami calls us for an interview tomorrow? I want to know this time. Swami, did you really name Sathya? I have to ask him. I hope he talks to me. This is in the room the previous day. Now,
and why Sathya?
And why Sathya? Why did you name him Sathya? So let us put Swami to test here. So he says, yeah, if we get a chance, we should ask him this. They call us for a group interview. Sathya, poor guy, is crying. The Sevadal is saying, you cannot go for this. You sit here outside with your kids. Everybody is inside. I'm the only one outside. And I'm telling Swami, what? I'm going to ask you a question here. You are not even letting me inside. How am I going to ask you anything? This is not fair. You said you are God? Okay, come. This is the time you prove it. So Suddenly, one Sevadal comes and this little girl, 5.5 years old, she says, Mom, don't worry. And the Sevadal says, you know what? I will talk to your son. You sneak away. Sevadal, of all people, telling me in Kulvanthal. Ah, nice. I ran, went inside. I'm the last person in the whole group, very far from Swami. Swami had already taken down. He did come, but he went back. There is no way I could reach him and ask him anything. So now Swami gets up for a speech, Anil Kumar's discourse, and Anil Kumar starts. Swami says, today, Divyatma Swarupalara, today I'm going to speak in English. Today I'm going to talk about what is Sathya. Sathya. He actually breaks the word. He gives the whole meaning. And I said, thank you very much. Now I know that you were very, very real in that dream.
Again, he put a stamp.
He again put that stamp. I got my answer. So now the faith is extremely strong. But it's not easy with Swami. The faith gets stronger and the tests are going to come. Now we know the tests are going to come.
Yes, and so I think let me go back to this last slide. And so our time was suddenly getting over in Winnipeg. We had no clue about it again. Of course, we were so much involved with Sai Center. And they also included us in the Tyagaraja Kirtanam group. So on the May, they were doing the Tyagaraja festival.
We can sing one or two kritis.
So yeah, we actually, they taught us. And every Sunday we used to go to somebody's home and, they taught us all the Tyagaraja Kirtanam. So it was such a privilege to be with this loving Sai devotees and the loving group of people. So we never thought of living Winnipeg, even though it was extremely cold. We thought, no, this is.
So I used
to
play.
With the Sai people.
Yeah, I used to play when we were in Winnipeg. Swami, no, not in this city. Winnipeg, from all the cities in the world, why did you bring me here? Can you please send me from -40 to +40? This is the actual prayer. I had told him so many times in Winnipeg. Why? I feel like Trishanku, if you know the story of Trishanku. I'm hanging in there, Swami, please help. I want to go to +40. I cannot bear this cold.
That was, I think, the place where
I
have never been after I left Winnipeg, by the way.
So what happens afterwards?
So now our time was over, and suddenly, I was, in those days and time when the internet was not that great, I still had a modem in which, I used to just, go there. And I said, let me post my resume on the internet, and it was just for the fun's sake. So I just put my resume on I think it was a monster.com or something like that. And you won't believe that in 3 days, I get an email, from somebody in Phoenix, a CPA firm in
Divine
Phoenix.
handiwork.
And he says that we would like to talk to you. And so we set up a time to talk on the phone. And they asked me only 2 questions. They said, are you a US CPA? I said, no. They said, do you have a US working visa? I said, no. Then, the third question was that, do you have any US experience in accounting and tax? I said, no.
It's all no from there, but all yes from here.
And those people who were interviewing, he said, don't worry, I think we have seen your resume. I think we are okay with you. When are you coming here, for a personal interview? So I said, okay. So I just fly down here, and we got, I got immediately an offer letter, right there and then. And so I told him that, okay, you said, I don't have the visa, now what? He said, no, we'll arrange a visa for you. I said, no, I'm not going to just come just like that. I need a green card, Otherwise, I don't want to take a chance to come to US and go back to Canada or something. He said, don't worry, we'll sponsor you for the green card as well. In those days, they're like pre-9/11, so things were not at all difficult, like what we have here today. But still, immigration is immigration. But so But everything happened, we leave our, beautiful Sai family, we come here, and, I start my working here. And within about 1 or 2 years, I think everything, I got a green card, and, everything just happened the way it was planned.
And more beautiful family.
Huh?
And more beautiful family.
More beautiful. Yes.
More beautiful families. From one Sai family to another Sai family.
So how is plus 40s now?
Oh, plus 40 is absolutely great. Thank you again, Swami.
She loves
He
it.
doesn't like it, I love
Somewhere
it.
in between, but she loves it.
But you can't say no.
No, but
No, we cannot say no. Cannot say no.
So now we were just involved in center activities and all that. So that was also, then we talked about 2004. And then some tests came in our lives, because now Swami, we were already close to Swami. He thinks that, we were ready with our faith to face all the tests in the personal life. So now she's going to talk about it.
We came, we have,
1040.
10:40.
Go to 1040.
so in Winnipeg, as you all know now, I was praying, and there were so many things which the baby boy started showing that he indeed, Swami had indeed blessed him. If he would cry, I would put vibhuti on his chest, and for it he would stop crying. When I put bhajans for him, when I put him to sleep, he will listen to the bhajans and he will cry. If he has an earache, I put vibhuti, he will stop crying. If he has a stomach ache, vibhuti. Everything is done with vibhuti here.
Miraculously, it was fine. Miraculously,
Everything is fine. Why I'm telling you this is how he started building our faith stronger and stronger and stronger. Now we come to Phoenix. We are involved in all the Sai activities. Sorry? Yeah, we are wrapping up in 2 minutes now. So we are involved in the activities. We have an activity in 2004. We decided to take a play to Swami. And many of you were here at that time with me. So we decided to take this play, and we started writing the play, started working for it. We wrote, I think the first part of the play was, I was involved in writing with one of the other teachers. And in that play, we wrote a song, which we put a song which I had really, really liked. And somehow I told Swami that I really, really like this. I'm going to put this in this play, Swami. So this song is there. I write the first part. Now the test comes. The faith is put on a test. I fell chronically ill. I could not take part in any practices or any play. I'm lost. Practices during this time. When I fell chronically ill, I told Pallav that when I came to know that something is not right with me, I told him that I would not do anything till Swami says that you go for it. So Pallav, we told doctors, you all know them, right? Here. So we told them that this is what is happening. Bala at once told us that let us write an email to Swami. He will definitely...
Dr. Sundaresh.
Dr. Sundaresh. By the way, Sundaresh is the medical director of Super Specialty Hospital
Annapurna's brother.
in Whitefield. And he's Annapurna's brother. So he said, let us write an email to Sundaresh. He goes every week to Swami. He'll take this and show Swami this. Whatever Swami says to him, you do it. I said, okay, fine. But but I'm not even going to the doctor before that. So this email is sent, and in the meantime, Suresh also called Pallav and said that if there is an emergency, if you need to call Swami, this is his number.
Dr.
And
Sundaresh actually gave me Swami's personal phone number.
So if you call
And
Swami,
he says that
he will
keep it
definitely
only with
pick
you
it up.
and use it only in
Maybe.
emergency because Swami does answer this phone. So when you call him, he is going to answer that call. So I still have that little chip, in which he had given me.
So in my spiritual diary, I have written his phone number. Can you guess what is the phone number? 999 is always with me everywhere. 27, 36, 9, 999. What can be the phone number? I'm going to stop here. So
Yeah. I think
it's Om. That's his phone number. So they say that whenever you need to call, so repeat Om. So anyway, so here Swami has the email is taken to Swami, and Swami takes the email, reads it, gives it back without saying a word. So the message is taken. Go for the surgery. Because Swami didn't say anything. And that was what we had decided, that if Swami doesn't say anything, go for the surgery, but then go to Puttaparthi. Because I'm not leaving this. So we go for the surgery, everything is fine. We go to Puttaparthi, and I think we will continue after this. Because
I think the one final thing that, one final thing that, so we go to Puttaparthi, both of us, and we want Swami to confirm that everything is fine. Now, Swami was not even talking to Dr. Bala or anybody, and we were sitting there for maybe a week or so, and he was not talking to anyone. So, but we were willing not to, we had decided we are not going to go until and unless Swami says something about it. So, suddenly, Bala comes running from the veranda.
Just a second, I wanted to say something here. So, 15th day after the surgery, the doctor is extremely skeptical about me going to Puttaparthi, a place in India. He has no idea what it is. So I told him, you don't worry, I have my antibiotics right there. So I'll take that. So 15th day I'm on the plane. I've already told Swami I'm coming, and this is what happens after that.
So when
Every day we are in the darshan line. I'm in the Sikh line of people looking at all the old ladies grumbling about their illnesses, and I'm like, Swami, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this. Sairam, Sairam, Sairam. When you come, please look at me. Please look at me. This is my prayer to him.
So, we were there, and so suddenly Bala came running, from the veranda, and came straight where I was sitting. And he says that, I talked to Swami, and he said, even I had tears in my eyes. I said, Swami, you have to say something. And Swami actually smiled at him, and actually slapped his cheek, just like this, saying that, why are you worrying? I'm there. Everything is fine.
So let
And
me say
she
this.
said, but Swami, I was a president of the Scotland Center at that time. So he said, Swami, but even president is not, he's very nervous and he's not well. Tell president, tell Pallav. He said, everything is going to be fine. And then he walked off.
No, so he said, I'm looking at Bala talking to Swami, and I'm wondering what he's talking. Suddenly I saw Swami doing this to his cheek. So Bala said, he's very nervous. Swami, his wife is not well. She went through a surgery. The surgery was performed. And Swami says, I know. Don't worry. Everything has healed very well. Now tell her not to worry. he took out 4 packets of vibhuti, he gave it to Bala and he said, tell her, take it every day, in the morning with water, in the night before sleep with water. She is going to be all right. And tell the whole center, Swami is sending vibhuti for you all. Don't worry. And from that day to this day, if I'm standing here and talking to you, that is all because of His grace. Otherwise, it's a no. No, no, no. So
I think
but it is a yes, yes, yes.
we had few other things, but let me just say that I think at the end we really appreciate and thank you so much for giving us a chance. We feel it that it's a Nam Smarana, and whenever we talked about Swami, we dive into those moments and we feel that Swami is with us always, and we pray that Swami with all of us always, as He has promised. And I was just talking about it, that we have all heard about Waymo, right? Now I call it Simo. That Baba is driving the car. We don't see him that he is driving the car. We are already in the car. Now why are we worrying? He's always there with us. At every corner, every place in our life, He's there. He's driving the car. If you can trust Waymo, here you don't even have to feel the address.
You trust Simon.
He knows your goal. He knows where you have to go. Let Him take you and just pray to Him, and everything will happen as He wills. So I think with those words, we again pray to Swami to bless everyone, and we just pray that samasta